Hi, my name is Hans Lindetorp, and today I want to introduce you to an online installation for web-based instruments. So it's an installation with several instruments ready-made for us to play, and this is one of them. So it's built to play with 3 fingers, so you get 3 different notes with different sounds. But that could also have been using the controlling the sound using the device motion or accelerometer, GPS location, whatever. So we use the smartphone as the multi-sensor device, and we use web audio in the web page to generate the sound. And I find that really interesting. Web Audio API is a technology that is available on all major browsers in almost any client. And you can build a very complex instrument or web audio or an audio application using web audio. But for some people, I found it a bit complicated to learn how to program JavaScript so you can build something really powerful with Web Audio API. So I created myself a sort of a framework on top of Web Audio that I call WebAudioXML, and that makes it possible to create a web application with audio using just XML. And that includes building the audio graph with oscillators, filters, gains, envelopes, anything you need to build up like a synthesizer or like an interactive instrument. And also to connect the variables from the sensors to audio parameters, so you can control the sound using different sensors. And there are lots of tutorials and documentations on WebAudioXML, so I don't want to dive deep into this in this presentation, but I want to present this instrument, which is one of many, and also introduce to the concept of how it's built, and welcome you to join, to collaborate and to build instrument yourself, and also to contribute and to share your instruments by answering or writing a post on the web page for this installation. So I'll just give you some key ideas of how an instrument is built, and if you're interested, please dive into the tutorials and documentations about Web Audio XML, and you will learn how to do it efficiently. Such an instrument could be hosted in any web page, of course, but for simplicity, the sake of simplicity, I want to do it in CodePen, because that makes it possible to collaborate online building instruments with web audio, and I think that is beautiful in itself. So this instrument is online, it's on CodePen, and it's built only using HTML and primarily XML, which is embedded into the HTML pane of CodePen. So when you look at the code here, that is the instrument, that is everything that makes the sound, and that is everything that controls the sensors or takes the values of the sensors and can map it to audio parameters. And we'll just have a quick look on how that is done. So one of these chains in XML here, I will just give myself a bit more space. One of these chains is what we actually hear that makes the sound. So we have a chain with an oscillator, a bytecode filter, a gain node, and then the signal is kind of routed from top to bottom through these nodes, and then it's passing a send node that sends a signal out to delay, and we also have a stereo panner node that controls the stereo pan of the sound. This first oscillator plays with a square wave, and that is connected to my first finger when I play. So my first finger will always play with the square wave sound. And my move on the x-axis controls the frequency of the oscillator, and my move on the y-axis controls the frequency of the filter. Okay, and then if I add more fingers, they will connect to other chains playing oscillators with different waveforms. So my second finger will be a sawtooth, and my third finger will be a triangle shaped oscillator. This is how I connect the sensor data, in this case the X value of my first finger, to control the frequency of the oscillator. So I have the frequency that follows, and it says touch 0.rel(x). So that would be the relative X value of my first finger. So the second finger will be touch 1 down here on the second chain. So the value between 0 and 100 is mapped to MIDI notes 48 to 84. And it's not just mapped between those frequencies, but it's also jumping in steps, and that makes the scale. So the scale you can see with these numbers 0, 2, 4, 7, 9, 12, that makes up a major pentatonic scale that is repeated in octaves. Like that. You can do really clever scales here. Let me see if I can find my... This is a just tuned scale with floating point values that makes it possible to have it playing special tunings. Oh, I need to reload the page, of course, in my phone. So I just need to go back to my pentatonic major. Okay, so if you want to know more about how you can map values to scales, then please have a look at the tutorials about steps. This is how I map the relative Y value to the frequency of the filter. So I'm taking the relative Y on my touch 0, which is my first finger, and map it from 0 to 100, which is the incoming values, to frequency 1500 Hertz to 50 Hertz. So that is how I can slide on the frequency spectrum between 50 Hertz and 1500 Hertz. And then there are a lot of interesting things. You can make envelopes with standard ADSR values: attack, decay, sustain, release, and also have the different triggers to control that. In this case, my touch 0, which is my first finger again, triggers the envelope. And then the sound is both routed through the stereo panel node, but also sent out to another chain that I call delay 1, and you can find it here at the bottom. So that is like a chain in a mixer console that delays, in this case. So it's like a delay plugin, delaying the signal using bicode filter to cut off the higher frequencies, and then feeding back to another delay. So we have 3 different delays here, different time settings, and that makes the sound bump around in a very nice way. So that's the basic concept of this instrument, and feel free to try it out. Feel free to fork the project into your own account and just change the values, save it and play it on your smartphone. And if you like it, please contribute and share your ideas with the community and with me. That would be so great. I wish you all the best, good luck, and have fun.